So I would request Dr. Annadurai, sir, Dr. Krishna Kumar, Guest of Honor Dr. Atul Ganatra, our President Dr. Nitin Shah, Honorary Secretary Dr. Bela Bhatt, Honorary Treasurer Dr. Jayanti Kamath, Managing Trustee Dr. Bipin Pandit, Patrons Dr. Rajendra Sarogi and Dr. S.N. Agrawal, sir, to kindly join.
आकाशस्याधिपो विष्णुः अग्निश्चैव महेश्वरी वायो सूर्यक्षितेरिषः जीवनस्य गणाधिपः एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो बुद्धिः प्रचोदयात् तन्नो बुद्धिः प्रचोदयात् वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा
Thank you so much. I would request our Secretary, Dr. Bela Bhatt, Madam, to continue with the proceedings further.
Do we have a platform? है अब या तो ये थोड़ा इधर ले लो साइड में ले लो नहीं नहीं no that's fine. So I the Secretary Dr. Bela Bhatt, Secretary AFG, extend a warm welcome to one and all on this AFGCON, which is the annual conference of our Association of Fellow Gynects Mumbai. Well, at AFG, we believe in the best of academics. And as the saying goes, good work has a snowball effect. It keeps leading to more good work. And AFG, this year we all know, Dr. Nitin Shah has done mammoth work, and I'm sure it will have that snowball effect, and Dr. Anurag Bhate and the new team will also continue doing the same amount of good work. So with these words, I again welcome you all to this AFGCON. Well, I would like to first invite the dignitaries to the dais. I request our Managing Trustee, Dr. Bipin Pandit, to escort our Chief Guest, Padma Shri Dr. Mailaswamy Annadurai, to the dais. We welcome, sir. Yeah, sir, yeah. Everybody would like to have, you know, yeah, we'll have a group photo at the end, because to meet somebody like Dr. Mailaswamy Annadurai is really, really a special moment for all of us. in life. So, yeah. Madam, afterwards. Madam, please. We invite the chief guest to the dais, please. I request President, welcome, sir. I request President Dr. Nitin Shah to escort our guest of honor, Dr. Krishna Kumar and Dr. Atul Ganatra. I request our treasurer, Dr. Jayanti Kamath, to please come to the dais. So, I request all the dignitaries to please take the seat on the dais. So, well, as you can see, we started with this AFGCON in the morning with a amazing presentation by Dr. Nitin Shah on his journey to the Everest Base Camp. We know him as an expert laparoscopist, but we saw the different dimension of him, a different dimension of his personality through this fantastic presentation, and how we can conquer the mountains and not just the academics. So, on one side we hear and learn about various topics of OBGYN, but we know that if we are spiritually inclined, we can absorb the knowledge better. And as Dr. Mukesh Gupta said, we have to keep that balance between the work and life and family, which is possible with that spiritual touch. So we got blessing from Punya Prasanna Swami, Prasanna Muni Swami in the morning. And as he told us, the healing of healers, let's live the life true to ourselves and not as per somebody else's expectation. And the rule of 8 plus 8 plus 8 is something I think we all should follow. Then we had a brilliant talk on hysteroscopic surgeries by none other than Dr. Krishna Kumar. And well, sir, you made us peep into the uterus, not looking at the endometrium and the polyps and the devices, copper T devices or the Mirena. But I was amazed because being a fetal medicine consultant, as a fetal medicine consultant, we look at the fetal, so many abnormalities day in and day out on ultrasound. And when suppose there is little anomaly and we terminate, we always do autopsy. But I never knew you can also do a hysteroautopsy of an embryo, which was really, really amazing. So hats off to all our speakers today. And another fantastic presentation by none other than Dr. Atul Ganatra we had, where he gave a lot of medical tips on the endometriosis, adenomyosis, progesterone, etc. But also tips to our youngsters who are sitting here or to start saving when they are young, so that they can secure their lives in later half of their life. Unfortunately, we couldn't have Dr. Shailesh Puntambekar here today with us, because he was to travel from US to India and flight was delayed by 12 hours. So unfortunately, we don't have him here to talk on the uterine transplant. But I welcome all the dignitaries here on the dais once again. And first of all, we would like to welcome all our dignitaries with floral bouquets. So I request our Managing Trustee, Dr. Bipin Pandit, to welcome our chief guest, Dr. Maila Swami Annadurai, with a floral bouquet. I request our President, Dr. Nitin Shah, to welcome our guest of honor, Dr. Krishna Kumar and Dr. Atul Ganatra. I request Dr. Jayanti Kamath to welcome our Managing Trustee, Dr. Bipin Pandit, with a floral bouquet. And I request Dr. Navneet to present bouquets to our President, Secretary and Treasurer, Dr. Nitin Shah, Dr. That's fine. Three of us will receive it together. So, first of all, I would like to introduce our chief guest, Padma Shri Dr. Mailaswamy Annadurai, well popularly known as the Moon Man of India, Padma Shri awardee. Dr. Mailaswamy Annadurai is a distinguished space scientist of international repute. He has served the Indian Space Research Organization, that is ISRO, for 36 years and has contributed for 60 satellites made in India, notably Chandrayaan-1, Mangalyaan Moon and Mars missions as project director and program director. He was also instrumental in operationalizing NAVIC Constellation, Indian Regional Navigation System, and redefining Aditya L1 mission. A big hand to our chief guest. He is the chairman working group of the United Nations Committee for Peaceful Use of Outer Space, co-chair Asia Pacific Space Forum, co-chair Indo-German Joint Working Team, Space Cooperation, co-chair Indo-French Joint Working Team of Space, and has led so many other international organizations, Vice President Tamil Nadu State Council for Science and Technology, Chairman National Design and Research Forum between 2019 and 2023. I think the biodata will never get over. He has been bestowed, I have to mention this, that Dr. Annadurai has been bestowed with the Padma Shri Award in 2016 for Science and Technology from Government of India, and Rajyotsav Prashasti Award for Science in 2008 from Government of Karnataka, has more than 100 national and international awards and fellowship, has authored more than 150 research papers. So, sir, we would like to hear a few words from you on this AFGCON annual day of AFG.
Yeah, good morning to all. Thank you very much for inviting me to be part of this conference. I may look an odd man out, okay, being among the gynecologists, surgeons. I am definitely looking like an odd man out. But notwithstanding that, the medical science and the engineering science is now converging in a big way. Now you look at here, the way in which you are doing the operations, definitely lot number of instruments are coming into the picture. So the time has come, the convergence of many things happening across the world. Okay, you look at here, even the medicine, while coming we are talking about Ujjwal. Her daughter is working on nanotechnology. And nanotechnology and the medical science, the delivery of the medicines coming in a much better way is inching towards that. So when that's happening, definitely this sort of conferences, allowing me, person like me, also will allow me, enable me to take something back and how we can work together also. And in a way, in a smaller part, I am playing a catalytic role for the India's, the first indigenous robotic system, SSI Mantra. I am in the board of the directors, and I am the only director in the engineer being in the board there. So that way it's really, really happy. So the meaning is, yes, we have gone to the moon and Mars, definitely healthcare also. India, when India is boasting for the number one, the population and good number of the demographic point of youngsters and elders, both, I think India is going to outscore the whole world is concerned. And when that's happening, the longevity of the people are keep increasing, the productive life has to be made it much better. definitely medical science has to play a major role is the concern. And towards that, I could see that you are keeping abreast with what's happening elsewhere. And that's all the more heartwarming. So once again, my best wishes for the success of the conference. Thank you very much for giving me opportunity.
Thank you so much for your kind words, Dr. Annadurai, and the man of moon. And you have been very inspirational for all of us, and you'll always be an inspiration for so many youngsters of India forever. Thank you so much, sir, for being here and sharing your views and spending your precious time with us. Thank you so much. Now I would like to call upon our guest of honor, Dr. S. Krishna Kumar. We have heard him, we have had his formal introduction, but just to introduce him briefly, Chief Consultant, JK Women Hospital, Fortis Hospital, past President, Indian Association of Gynec Endoscopies, course in charge, cadaver course, GL and IH, course Director, Laparoscopic Gynecology, IRCAD, and has special interest in adolescent and geriatric hysteroscopy. We witnessed a brilliant presentation of sir in the morning, so I'm sure everybody knows him very well. So sir, a few words from you. I welcome you.
I think all this was not required. Anyway, I must thank from the bottom of my heart my dear friend and your president, Nitin, for having me here, and you have witnessed the year which he has gone through, and he has also motivated me in the financial gyan, which I am to entering little bit through his teachings. And as I already said, my presence today was a great blessing to me, definitely in front of Mr. Annadurai, who accepted the invitation when Nitin Shah wanted him to be present here. The last year only said for my age he will be there. So thanks to Mr. Annadurai for having been here. And as I said today, we have gone to the moon, we have gone to the space, and we have gone above the space also. So all three today we heard, and we are going to hear the motivational talk from Professor Annadurai, and I'm sure each one of you will see his humble beginnings and teaching that is very particular sentence. Just because you are there doesn't mean you are there. He will keep telling that and really motivate you and with a lot of meaning. So once again, millions of thanks for having me here.
Thank you so much, Dr. Krishna Kumar. And now I would like to invite our own senior and right now the managing trustee of AFG, Dr. Bipin Pandit. Dr. Bipin Pandit, the audience doesn't need the introduction, is the past Executive Council member of Maharashtra Medical Council, Vice President FOGSI 21-22, past President MOGS 2018-19, past Joint Secretary FOGSI 2015, past President Trustee of Association of Medical Consultants, and received Lifetime Achievement Award from AFC. Yes, sir, everybody knows you. So over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. President Dr. Nitin Shah, Padma Shri Annadurai, our guest of honor Dr. Atul Ganatra and Krishna Kumar, and dignity on the dais, and all my friends. It's a great honor to share this dais with all these great people. And we all have heard that Mr. Annadurai is a moon man, but he is a great motivation to all the young scientists and engineers of India. And he has done the very cost-effective soft landing on the moon, which has to be appreciated. This reminds me of a story. Once Sunil Gavaskar, after his successful innings, and when he retired, he was interviewed by the reporters. And they asked him, "Sir, what is the secret of your success? What is the secret of your success?" And he said, "There are 3 Ds: discipline, dedication, and determination." But his uncle, Mama, Mr. Madhav Mantri, was sitting next to him. He said, "Sunil, you have forgotten one more D, and that is desire. Desire to do something. That's extremely important." And we can see all these 4 Ds in all these great people sitting on the dais, especially Mr. Annadurai. So with this, I think we wish a great success to the Indian space mission, and thank you very much for coming here.
Thank you so much for your blessings, Dr. Bipin Pandit. And now I have to do a job, a pleasurable job of introducing none other than our president, Dr. Nitin Shah. So, well, do I need to introduce him? Okay, Dr. Nitin Shah, we all know this year he has done a huge work. Everyone has witnessed so many activities he has done, CMEs and the online platform and so many academic activities, extracurricular activities. I'm in the count. Making the secretary report was really difficult for me. I'm going to present the whole amount of work in my secretary report. But it reminds me of this saying, the only way to achieve the impossible is to believe that it is possible. The work he has done in this year is almost unbelievable work that he has done in AFG, and we are all proud of you. And he believed and proved that yes, impossible can also be done. So I'm not going to formally introduce just about the awards. He is recipient of Golden Hands Award, recipient of Wonder Foxian Award, world record holder for removing heaviest fibroid, largest para-ovarian cyst, hysterectomy in male, and of course the presidential year of Dr. Nitin Shah will be remembered for years for the work that he has done in the entire year and inspired so many of the AFGNs and all the OBGYNs. So over to you, Dr. Nitin Shah. We would like to hear from you.
Thank you for the kind words, my dear secretary. I called her Saraswati, and my treasurer Lakshmi ji. So we'll have a detailed presentation in the afternoon. But this year was not possible without the team efforts of Team AFG. So I thank from my bottom of the heart to Team AFG for giving me this liberty to lead the role this year, and we could deliver what we have dreamed of. So thank you very much. Thank you, dignitary on the dais, off the dais, and my senior friends. Thank you very much.
That sweet and short address shows how much he is for the academics that is still remaining and everybody is waiting for. So I would just like to conclude with the vote of thanks. I am extremely thankful, first of all, to our chief guest, Padma Shri Dr. Maila Swami Annadurai, for sparing time with us and blessing us. Our guest of honor, Dr. Krishna Kumar, Dr. Atul Ganatra, for being here and for their pearls of wisdom. All the eminent faculties, Dr. Krishna Kumar, Dr. Puja Prasanna Muniswamy, Dr. Atul Ganatra, and there are still many more academic, the faculties are already, I can see, they are there, so we are going to enjoy academics. So I thank all the faculties, all the seniors of our AFG family, all the members, and all the delegates, of course, without whom no conference is successful, and our academic partners. I would just like to quickly name our academic partners: Sun Pharma, Inca Senora Spectra Division, KK Surgical, Viol Medical Technologies, QFIC Biosciences, Nopax Healthcare, Om Surgicals, Altus Airflow, Nivian Life Sciences, Healthium MedTech, Infallible Pharma, Carl Stores, Abbott India, MCure, COE, Mayor, MSD, Zydus, Suchem. Thank you so much for your academic support, because of which so many academic activities we could put up throughout the year. So with this, I think we'll conclude our inauguration function and we'll continue with our academic activities. I request all the dignitaries.
I'm not going to leave the stage unless Mrs. Nitin Shah comes here, because I was there for the installation and I saw how much she was running around. And I would like to give a bouquet to her because she's been an integral part of this entire year.
Madam, please welcome to the
We've spent some time together in Calcutta, and I know how involved she is here.
Jayanti, you can get
please
the
come.
bouquet. Okay.
I want Nitin
It's
to give
here,
it to her.
it's here.
I want Nitin to give it to her, I think. She has
The
been an
first lady.
integral part. Yeah.
Chalega,
Nitin will give it to
chalega,
her.
chalega.
I don't think any president can run his whole year without
Yes, that's,
the support of his wife, and I think
yes,
I've
thank
seen
you.
the amount of effort that she's put in right from the installation.
Thank you
Thank
for
you
that.
very much for sparing him for a year for AFG. Of course.
Thank you for the kind gesture, Dr. Atul Ganatra. Yes, it has to be. I request all the dignitaries to please take your seats. And I invite the MOCs, Dr. Saurabh and Dr. Dawal, to carry forward the further academics.
Up next is one of the highlights of today's event. I would like to invite our chairpersons for the same, our managing trustee, Dr. Bipin Pandit, sir. Dr. Krishna Kumar, sir. Our secretary, Dr. Bela Bhatt, madam. And our treasurer, Dr. Jayanti Kamath, madam.
It gives us great pleasure to invite Padma Shri Annadurai to give this very prestigious oration of Association of Fellow Gynecologists. We have already introduced you, sir, with your biodata. He's the moon man of India and a great inspiration to all the youngsters and engineers. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation. He's going to speak on innovation to implementation. A true story and a great success story of India. I'm sure all of you must have witnessed this live soft landing on the moon.
Once again, good morning to all, and I am happy to be part of AFGCON today. Actually, this is the second time Dr. Krishna Kumar made me to stand here among the surgeons. Of course, his organization, his IAG 2025, last year, March 25, I think, had been there. Of course, that time also we discussed what to talk about. And as he rightly told, summarize is here. What brought me here will not take me there. Okay, that is the theme. That means or something enables you, your graduation, post-graduation, whatever it is that enables you to get a position. But that alone will not allow you to continue there. Similarly, then again I asked, this time what I should talk. No, whatever you asked, whatever you talked last time, you can talk. But my topic itself, what brought me here, will not take you there. Okay, so what brought me here is last year what I talked. So what I talked last year, if I tell here, it won't make me to be relevant today. So but still I should talk this whatever I talked last time. Okay, the continuity. So I taken slightly different way from innovation to implementation. Even the talk itself. Okay, I thought it's an innovation, but I think it can be implementation also possible. Yes, the current situation is concerned. So I was putting the things together in perspective, like whatever you told your experiences in the surgical field. I think something similar I'm putting. So it is basically a twin story of ISRO and in ISRO man. In ISRO man, you know whatever it is. About ISRO, you all also know about that. But still, I'm putting the story in a way wherein this twin story is coming, both the personal as well as organization connectivity is concerned. For how this happening, innovation and implementation. So putting back my stage of early days in the education, that the day whatever I told is 1963 November, the evening, the sky from my village was started small, big, small dot, golden dot, and as the whole sky has become golden color like this. We are all totally perplexed. What is this? We are not knowing about what is this. Anyway, because those days it is not, TV is not there, and this much of fanfare of ISRO was not existing. And the next day only I came to know it was the first ever sounding rocket launch from Indian soil. In the modern space era is concerned, that is the birth of ISRO in some form, in a very, very modest form, in a makeshift arrangement in the church in the western gate of Kerala, near Tumba, Trivandrum. I think this launch took place, it looks. So this is the first time it happened there. This is what I seen the previous day. Me along with my friends who have seen previous day, I came to know. So that is, this is the birth of the you can take our ISRO is concerned. So from that modest beginning in 60s, slowly, some experimental launch vehicle, experimental satellites, like that, gradually moved. But beyond some level, the growth was not really happening that way. And beyond that, some issues also came, because around that time frame, 90s, you look at here, IT boom has come there. So a lot of people are going out of ISRO, and we are not able to really recruit the people there. But at this point of time, Government of India wants more and more satellites to be launched, and we need more people to be there. I think that is the situation was there. So that is from there. But that you look at here, innovation has come. That is in the name of Chandrayaan, is to how to inspire the people within the organization, how to inspire the people to attract the people from outside. Today also a kid has come and asking me for the autograph. It is, I think, one of the reason being a Chandrayaan on what we launched. Okay, that is the one it is touched the imagination of the people from the drawing board to connect with the ISRO. I think that has happened all the way within the organization also. Afterwards, you look at here at the exponential growth. Today, India is one among the top in the space efforts are concerned. It has happened there. That means that innovation, it implemented in a bigger way. Many things happened there. Some more similar thing, connecting the boy. I told, I have seen the western side of the sky was going a glow like that. That time I was doing my primary school. This is my primary school. Okay, that means the cattle will be there the previous night, and we are supposed to go and take it away, allow the farmer to go for the grazing concern, and make a classroom ready every day. Like your OT, you are making ready for every day. This is happening. Classroom to be made ready for every day. I think this is how it started. The primary schooling is concerned. Now this is something similar. What happened for the ISRO started from the makeshift arrangement of a church. So from there, yes, my graduation in terms of education is concerned. It happened there. 1982, post-graduated. Then I joined ISRO in 1982. Within ISRO also, the gradual growth only there until the Chandrayaan has come. Okay, and Chandrayaan has come. That how ISRO has happened exponential growth. I think to fairly some extent for me also. Okay, I was not known a figure at that time. From Chandrayaan made me to know what it is, and Chandrayaan also exposed me who am I. That is the thing. That means what you brought you there will not take you there. I think that lesson is very well embedded in my DNA around that time. Normally the DNA they tell inheritary, but it can go infuse also in between. This is what I feel. That's what happened there. So that's why this growth also happened. Today when I'm standing here, I think that's the turning point for this. This story not only I'm telling to you, I'm telling to my grandson also. Okay, this is how I'm connecting it there. How it happened? Just fast forward, you look at here. Just to go back in the second standard, this is my village had a big lake. Those days. Today the place is there and the lake doesn't have water. That is a big story is happening there. But notwithstanding that lake, in the summer holidays, it recedes the water. Then from the clay we are supposed to make and the small toys type of thing. That it is more like an annual event for in the school. And when the better the model you make, you will get a prize that annual day. Something like that. It is there. So now typically people will make this. Need not be on their own. Maybe father or mother, sister, elder sister, elder brother could have helped. Like today, whatever the exhibitions in our kids are doing. This is typically normally will do. But I was thinking a slightly different way as this was given. Whether to go a routine way of this sort of a thing, something else whether we can do. Okay, I think that's something else. So that when you're looking at that is concerned, same clay, trying to make a model like moon, and that trying to put a 1 paise Indian flag there. Okay, this is the model whatever I have given the second year of that is concerned. Okay, this is may not look like intricate thing like other one, but this is made by me. And this is the thing is whatever the Republic Day they gave the 1 paise flag, that preserved it elsewhere and has put it there and it has come there. And this is looking at this. Class master, he really encouraged me, and in the assembly also he told about this fellow how to connecting it there. And people are actually at that time nobody thought putting a flag on the polar region of the moon. Even Armstrong put the flag, their national flag in the equatorial regions. Polar region was not even thought about. How it connected there, because they are only predominantly seen. That sort of point I put it there. But this one fetched me a pencil, 2 paise pencil award for me that year. Okay, believe me, that pencil only ingredient. That means you something you differently think and exhibit yourself. There is a possibility people will understand it and recognize it and reward you. I think this reward only took me all the way to the Padma Shri today. I think that's what I can tell you from the school. Whatever it has happened, that's what it's happening there. Now, that schooling is concerned. After the schooling, what to do? Colleges, you have to go. Which way to go? Arts you go, science you go, or the engineering is emerging that time, whether electronics and communication, whether we can go that way. I think electronics and communication, somehow I felt it is connecting with the both science as well as engineering. So that way I turned to that. And fast forward, 1982, completed my post-graduation in engineering. And I became an enthusiastic graduate, because the whole of Tamil Nadu, today Tamil Nadu is creating nearly 150,000 graduates it creates. But those days, not more than 1,500. And that too, engineering, electronics is concerned, not even 200. And coming to post-graduation, not even 20. Okay, so that means one among that, I was so enthusiastic, I was thinking something great I'm going to do like that. I was running around the whole of India. Mumbai also would have come there by the train. No, nothing called flight those days. So affordability was not there. Then running around across during this 6 months period, I jumped 5 different jobs. Okay, become a confused and frustrated youth. My dreams were different and it was not going. We joined there. Within 2-3 days, I come to know this is not the place. Also, I used to jump the other place, like that. It's keep happening. So I became a confused and frustrated youth. So that is actually in this way, my records, even today, ISRO talks about this is how I appeared ISRO at interview. Okay, ISRO's interview appeared 1982 November, and ISRO also was like this at that time. Okay, very modest beginning, whatever started. As I told, I didn't go much, and this is the level it is there. That young boy, nothing but Dr. Kalam. Okay, that is the situation. ISRO was there. Then I am again got confused and a big question mark. Okay, what I am going to do, even ISRO like this. But way in which I started from the cattle shed, cow shed, to post-graduation, that means where I started didn't stop me to come over up to that. Okay, ISRO also started and gradually keep coming there. That means where you are now need not dictate you where you want to go. You got it now? You started from there, but still you are able to come to this level, and you are joined ISRO. But ISRO of today need not stop me where I want to go there. Is it possible to do something else? And this happened just 2 weeks joining into ISRO. I proposed a suggestive note for software satellite simulator. ISRO yet to make the satellite those days, but anyhow one day or other we will make. By making how you can get ready yourself. Okay, I think this is a suggestive. I cannot suggest not some scribbling things like in WhatsApp today. People will give recommendation how to Iran US war can be stopped. Lot of youngsters will put something like that. I have put it there, but to my surprise, it came Professor Rao Rao, who was the head of the institution that time. Good, do it yourself. Okay, that means the responsibility is given to you. This is again looking at here how my class teacher has seen, recognized. I think something like that I expect. I thought it, because here that means your suggestion has been recognized, and he is asking me within 2 days, 2 weeks of joining into ISRO, person gives and that goes to the top man, and he sends back the note back. Good, do it yourself like that. So it's really, really a moment which made me. But it took 4 years for me to realize that such a simulator. Okay, it's not easy because you have to convert the whole thing, engineering, physics, whatever you learned into a computer model, and to make it mimic as if it is a satellite what you're going to do. I think something like that. Today, the people talk about digital twin. Even for before you are going for operation, you can model the whole thing. You can model, and tomorrow you can be get ready for the particular patient is concerned. Okay, his whole imagery is available. You can make it many things possible. Something similar has happened there. Believe me, this is one of the reason why India is telling today very, very economically we are making the satellites. One of the bottom line reason is this. Before making the satellite, before making metal cutting, before sending it there, I think everything is being simulated here. And while making it here, we make only one model. Unlike people elsewhere, they make it 3 or 4 models elsewhere. We are making one model success. One of the things happened that way. Okay. So now I have become, you have seen with the beard, other thing. Now it has become a sort of different person. Okay, there's basically personality also keep changing. That's what happening there. So then down the line, ISRO started making satellites. But whether you can continue to be in the comfort zone. Now the software simulator is made by me. So my team has also come here. I can continue to be the same. Government of India salary remains same. Whether you do this or this, your salary will remain same. How many years you put in only matters there. So whether you can continue to be in your comfort zone, or now satellite making is coming, whether you can go it there. I opted for the left side, go for the satellite making. Anyhow, simulator is a part of that, whether we can do it. And down the line, many satellites are realized, and many things are keep happening. That's how the growth has happened there. Now we are entering into a situation. Now government of India asking for moving ahead, manufacturing satellite for national demand in a big way. Such a requirement has come. Around that point of view only, that IT issue came, early 2000. Okay, ISRO was finding it difficult to retain the people and recruit the new talents. This was the situation, something like that came, and it was ISRO was wondering what to do. Okay, and that is the point. We thought we should have an innovative mission to retain and recruit the people, to inspire the people to that retain, inspire the people so that new talents also come to you. I think this is how it's happened. What is that innovation? Okay. Then we thought about that, and why can't we go to the moon? Why can't we have a mission go to the moon? I think that is how thinking came, because that will be challenging you like this. But in the crossroad, the individual, I'm putting a twin story. ISRO talks about that, but the individual is there also in the crossroad. He has now, with the satellite making point of view, by the time good number of INSAT, by the time I think nearly 12 satellites, I happen to be the mission director, all the INSAT group of satellites, 2 IRS missions, like that. So in this, now private sector is asking whether the individual is now looking with regard to the private sector, is much bigger salary than that, or continue to be where you are, or the Chandrayaan-1 new mission coming to the moon, whether the responsibility is being offered to him, whether you take it or not. I think this is a really, again, a dilemma looking for which one to take, either left or right or back or front. Okay, this sort of thinking has gone there, and there definitely I have taken Chandrayaan-1. Let us take like that. Okay, now Nitin has told, and you people have complimented his wife also. No, he also played a role. Would have played a role there behind. Similarly, my wife also played a role to continue to be in ISRO, because this is possibly a golden opportunity. Chandrayaan is there. Why can't you take like that? But having taken decision, still you have to further, you have to go. Okay, and the mission is offered, but still how different you can do, because when you are young itself, people have gone to the moon. When I was young, people have gone to the moon, and they stopped going to the moon. Look at the history, 50s, 60s, 70s, good number of missions have gone to the moon. 13, 63, 23. 80s and 90s, no mission. Now we are talking about 2000. That means 30 years, no mission to the moon. But now you want to go to the moon. Is it right way? Thinking has come. But when we're thinking that way, why they stopped going? They stopped going because the declared moon is a barren. The declared moon is a barren. The question is whether the decision what they arrived at, is it right or wrong? Okay, that I think you have to think about that way. When you're thinking about that, when you look at what they have done is, they landed on the moon and searched for minerals and chemicals, and no water and no worthwhile minerals, something like that. That time discussed. They landed, but they have not gone to the entire moon. They have landed few places wherever they landed, and nobody is gone near the polar side at all. Other side of the moon has not seen. So it is more or less looking like you would have gone to Sahara repeatedly, a few 100 kilometers away with sand. Everywhere you will land until it's only barren, it is only sand, very hot sun, something like that only declare, and no water. It obviously possible. So the question is, they have not landed, they have not seen the entire moon, so the decision of what they are telling may not be correct. Okay, that means to really drill, you have to go to the whole moon has to be explored. So that means our mission configuration should be first whole moon to explore. And you land only when if something is there, or else you do not do that. Okay, this is how the concept has to go like that. Arrive at it. But even then, even if you want to do that, what is the resources you have? That means what resources is India has that time. We had only PSLV mission, very modest launch vehicle. But they gone to the moon 30 years, 40 years back using a Saturn launch vehicle. That vehicle and this vehicle, you look at here, the mere muscle power is a huge difference. Very big difference. Not okay. And this is not only graphically I'm telling, really also this is scale different. And this can take nearly 140 metric tons to the lift off it can do. But we can't take more than 4 tons. Big difference. But how, still with this, how to do? But with this only we can go, we cannot ask for something else to go to the moon is concerned. So then how did they go to the moon? So this is how they went to the moon. When we looked at that, this is how they went to the moon, that path is concerned. But is it the only way to go to the moon? Is it possible to find an alternative method, which probably will help us even with the PSLV? Is it possible? Simulator I told, na? In the simulator we have put this problem. Iteratively, they put the problem. With the PSLV capability, what really can be taken to the moon? But definitely this path is not possible to take. Different paths, a lot of iterative paths I have done. And that iterative path is unique, indigenous way of going to the moon we arrived at. Okay, PSLV can put somewhere around 1500 kilometer, 1500 kg of the mission satellite, around 22,000. And 200 kilometer. That is the elliptical orbit, nearer to Earth 300 kilometer, further away 22,000 kilometer. But moon is at 384,000 kilometer. Okay, to go there, gradually using 1500, some amount of fuel to carry it, gradually you can keep moving forward. That is possible. Physics allows it to do, but the iteration loop we arrived at that. And with that, we have came with this configuration in simulation, still yet to make satellite. Okay, and the simulation tells like this. Still, with this, yes, we can go project like this, as I told, 1500 kg, one satellite we can make. That satellite can go to the moon, and that will enable us to go around the moon couple of times. And the Earth, moon alone rotates on its own axis. The whole moon can be explored in a way. Remote sensing possibility is there. Still, the question is, if you go there, after 30 years you are going, even if you discover something, okay, but how people would accept you have discovered your instrument, but because they have not seen, you have seen telling, then we called some creative strategies called for. What is that creative strategy? You do operation theater, but still you expose this to audience like this. Okay, then you gain that. I think something similar, or you allow some of your postgraduate students part of that witnessing, many things happening there. Is it possible to think about a creative strategy? That's what we thought about. It came out solution. What is that? When we are thinking about that, the idea came something like this. Our own ISRO is concerned, this is a modest satellite we can make. But in this, if you are able to allow somebody else also to join along with us, we can carry them also, their instrument also. Our instrument is also there. So both the instruments sees something, so confirmation is possible. Is it possible like that? So we made a bold announcement of opportunity to the world. Okay, we are the first time going to the moon. People have gone to the moon 30, 40 years back, and nearly 100 missions have gone. And now, with the confidence whether anybody will come like that, a lot of thinking was there, a lot of discussions were there. But notwithstanding, we put that. But to my surprise, 2 different calls from US to me personally, okay, asking for their instrument to fly in our Chandrayaan mission. We wanted to carry only instrument, but 2 offers came, but both of them are one of the leading scientists who are part of the Apollo missions itself. And they thought, from their point of view, like they also thought, under the impression, the whole moon has not been explored. and they were looking for the another opportunity. A new instruments have come, and they were waiting for the opportunity. NASA is stopped going here, and they were going for the Mars and all, but stopped going for the moon. So this opportunity, both the people asked. Originally, I thought we will carry only instrument. The two top scientists, who's who of the lunar science, asking me such an opportunity, then I thought somehow we should enable both the instrument to go. But it's very difficult. Across the globe, many instruments have come. Both the instrument, carrying two instruments is going to be tough. And that too, both from US taking is very, very, very difficult. Geopolitical point of view, very difficult. Then we thought, let us not only stop with two, let us carry with the 6. Okay, to make the 6, you have to make a lot of optimization in your system. That if you do it, 6 instruments you can go. But 6 instruments, among the 6, I was pretty sure these 2 will come first 2. And all you can carry. So like that, a good number of instruments came for us. And from JPL, NASA, and you look at here, European Space Agency, Max Planck in Germany, JAXA from Japan, Bulgarian Science Institute, like that, many laboratories instruments started coming there. And this is the configuration we arrived at, still on the simulation. We had to go to make metal cutting, we had to start it. And so then we thought this has come very nicely, this system is concerned. And this I presented in a international conference, wherein all the countries were part of that. And everybody felt this mission unambiguously will be able to answer whether the water is there in the moon or not, even though we are going 30 years later like that. But still, the chief guest of that day's function, the conference was Dr. Kalam. And he called me and told, everything looks fine, but you want to see whether water is there or not. Water may be there, may not be there. If water is there, the success of the mission is possible. If water is not there, then also scientifically it will be success. We are able to prove no water on the moon, nowhere on the moon. If you are able to tell, then it is success. But common man will not accept that. Okay. So for that to do, something you should do better. What is that? He told, is it possible to put a national flag on the polar region of the moon? Which to the date people have not done. It simply clicked to me. What is second year I was told in my thought. Now Dr. Kalam is asking this. Such a golden opportunity. Such an opportunity. Na? But to put it there, technically very tough. What all we have done, with this, along putting the national flag is very, very tough. So it's really an opportunity, but the opportunity gives a greatest challenge of ever given to any Indian scientist that time. Okay, but still, I came to my student, my own team people, so discuss with what can be done. Okay, in team discussion, that means there is innovation, but how to implement it? It's a big thing because already we touched the corner. PSLV can take only this much weight. In that weight, we made on satellite, and after that, we told we will make one instrument. Now we added another 6 instruments from other countries. All put together, we are almost in a tight corner. Okay, the team is telling they have got exhausted. Okay, so many iterations we have done, and either you came with one approval project, afterwards you told you want so many instrument, one instrument you told, we made 6 instrument additional, everything we have done, and you have gone to Kalam. Dr. Kalam is telling you put the flag on that, you decide whether you want 1 or 2 or 3. We cannot do all the 3. Okay, this is the situation, because as an individual I cannot do, but still we have to, something we should do. Again, the simulator, whatever I told, done now, it came handy. Okay, is it possible to iterate the whole thing, putting whatever Dr. Kalam is told versus keeping this all instruments carrying? Is it possible to do that? I think a lot of iterations have gone through that, and that brought out in the simulation. We were able to arrive at a particular configuration. That configuration enabled 1 plus 2 plus 3 with same project scope. Schedule remains same, budget remains same, carrying all instrument remains same. We will also carry our national flag, and we will be able to put it on the polar region of the moon. I think we came out with that thanks to the simulator, which originally we told about with the Dr. Professor Rao is concerned. Okay, and then we made the satellite. But now you look at here, it is not easy. It is as back as 2000, I'm talking about 2004 to 2008. Okay, internet is not so prevalent, but still, you look at here, across the globe, we have the many laboratories working for Chandrayaan. Within India also, many laboratories working for Chandrayaan. So all of us have to work in a way such that iteratively you keep iterating the satellite configuration, keeping the same constraints of PSLV, keeping the same budget of 346 crores what government of India has given, keeping the schedule remains same 2008. I think all the constraints putting together, I think we have arrived at a design configuration. Did this, the first ever satellite at the design stage itself got 2 international awards, meant it was Chandrayaan 1. Even before launch itself, it was offering it's what it can be done there. So with this, we have gone to the moon, and then we discovered the water on the moon in the polar regions, which people have not landed. Water is not there even today, but where they have not explored in that regions, you look at the north and south, and whatever the blue regions, whatever is telling is infrared sensors indicating water and water molecules in the surface. And over and above that, polar regions, you look at here, we look at the region, the pole down, and there the sunlight has not gone for the edges, and those regions the water has been in the form of ice for the few meters depth also has been discovered there. So the discovery of water on the moon, originally the science talks about no water on the moon. So now the observation tells this totally different. So the science itself being rewritten now, how observation to the theory. Okay, now whatever you observed it, now how water has come, that totally different science is keep coming forward. That's happened there. Then we moved forward for Chandrayaan 2. Okay, after having seen this is for remote sensing. And our triangular flag also has gone as a part of the Chandrayaan 1 mission. So now Chandrayaan 2 also we started working, and almost we are almost getting ready in January 2011. We are ready, our point of view, orbiter point of view, but this is a collaborative mission. Lander and orbiter has to come from the, lander and rover has to come from the Russia. But Russia wanted to modify the Chandrayaan 2 orbiter. Okay, so the whole team was went to do something, what to do, yeah, like it was there. That configuration calls for, we have to abandon the mission, something like that. So then again the question mark, what has come? So that's what I told now. What you brought you there may not always enable you to go further. Every time this question comes. So this question again, what to do? The hardware is almost ready, but our partner is not ready to join with us, and it calls for, the change calls for another 6-7 years, totally another thing to be redone. So we are in a big question mark. So then that question mark again was coming to give, showing an opportunity. So this one jumps, there is an opportunity, golden opportunity here. There is opportunity is nothing but, you look at here, moon is there, but beyond moon, Mars also there. Okay, is it possible to using the hardware, which could have become abandoned because of the change in Russia is asking for, instead of that, the same hardware, is it possible to go to the moon? I think that was a thinking happened there, and that is going to be a tall order difference, because until then, nearly 51 missions have been attempted for Mars. Not more than 20 succeeded. 31 failures were there. Not even a single country succeeded the first attempt. They made an exclusive mission go to the Mars. They themselves failed. But ours is a hardware which you want to rejig and go to the Mars. It's really a big thing. But again coming back, the simulator is there, na? Redig the exhaustive simulation. How with the same the hardware you can go to the moon? Every PSLV remains same, and the way in which is going same, is it possible to do? And by the time we acquired how to automate this whole system is concerned, putting the automation together, the AM hardware to be done like that, it came out. We look at here, everything remains same. To start with, everything will remain same. Last alone, you get slightly more velocity, so that will go around the sun, like Earth is going around the sun, Mars is going around the sun, our Mangalyaan also will go around the sun, and that you go such a way, select a particular time, select the particular direction, select the particular velocity. It will enable you, when the Mars is coming here, 9 months later, you will be able to go just above 500 kilometers above the Mars. And that time, automatically, you are able to reduce the velocity, you will be able to acquire around the Mars. These are all theoretical simulation tells, okay? But you have to implement it there. Yeah, this is the simulation, whatever I'm telling. And this simulations, we have, this is more like Chandrayaan what we have done. And keep selecting the time is different, collecting the velocity is different. So it's keep on going up and up. Whenever it comes, you give additional velocity. Whenever comes additional velocity, this if you give, and so now you look at here, there are 3 articles. One is around the sun. Earth is moving around the sun. Mars also moving around the sun. Now the satellite which is also moving around the sun without any additional fuel. Okay, Earth nobody is giving additional fuel, Mars nobody is giving additional fuel. This also goes around that, but provided you had selected particular velocity. So we picked up that parameter in simulation and we put it on the system. And the next subsequent 9 months we will keep on watching whether it's matching with the simulation. Almost it was coming there. So without fuel, we are able to go over there. And when it comes over here, the subsequent year, 9 months later, and over the Mars, it's coming there. And that when Prime Minister of India himself is clapping, and when this came over here, India has become the first ever country to go around the Mars in the first attempt itself. Okay, this is happened. Yeah, then that is exponential growth, not only for the individual and the organization also, that growth, that's what I'm trying to connect the thing is concerned. So this is how that story has come. Story has part 2 also. This is what I told along with Dr. Krishnakumar all along. Okay, but that only brought me here. But this will not make me to stand further here. So part 2 I'm taking it. Time permit, another 10 minutes I will take. So another part 2 of the twin stories, I think anyway, Dr. Krishnakumar is aware of that, because my wife is sent her what I'm doing almost until yesterday, he knows me. Anyhow, this story for you. This is now part 2 of the twin story is, yes, we have gone to the moon or Mars, everything. But everything is for what? This humanity, this earth. Okay, for this earth, anything can be done. Okay, I think whatever people will tell, whatever we do it. But anyhow, I differ that way, but still people will tell this is not rocket science like that. So rocket science, how it can help for the emerging problems of the world. I think that I'm trying to do here. That means a green in food to fuel. For a sustainable world, this is called for. Okay, and for that, India 100, the year when celebration of the independence celebration happens, how it can go together? This twin story goes something like this. I am slightly posting myself. I'm not putting along with ISRO and myself. I'm putting India and myself itself. Why can't? Why can't? This only thinking. Nothing stops to think. No? So here I'm trying to connect India's 30 trillion economy, when we're talking about here, when India at 100, that means 2047, that's what we're talking about. We are where we and where we need to go. I think this question I'm putting it here. Is it possible to find the answer for that? That means you have a sustained GDP growth required from 8 to 9, 10% until then. We cannot go up to 20, 40, 37 and look for that, and it should happen sustained growth. Strong public finance and a robust financial system is called for. We talked about personal, it is India also called for. With high per capita income, it not only isolated some islands, it's per capita income has to come, then only this happened there. So high human happiness index, everything event finally related to that. Is it possible? Then global leadership, when you're doing it here, this automatically will happen there. So this is converted into a parameter, something like this, but Viksit Bharat, 2047 means what? Population could have gone to 165 crore, and median age could have 29 become 37. Life expectancy, we are expecting 84 plus. This is what happening there. So working population, if you assume 15 to 64 the age group, become going to cross 1 million. Okay, 112 crore is going to be there. Literacy rate has to be improved, and the female and labor force in the participation rate has to improve. Skilled laborers have to improve. So these are all the very many things have to be improved. So the parameters are known. But how we are going to do it? Okay, that means I feel what is really called for is, when we talk about the working population is crossing 100 crore, and life expectancy is going to cross 85, something like that is there. The core life of young and elders is the must. Both and public and private working together also must. I think this is the bottom line I'm trying to drive there. That means health care, education, gender equity, and skill update, all that really to be focused there. So now while doing it here, as I told here, what the previous people have done versus try to compare our mission to the moon or Mars. Similarly, we had an India Vision 2020 also. Now we are talking about 2047 vision. So what really we have done it, you look at here, we had, I think, strong progress in space, digital infrastructure, poverty reduction, food security, health care and global economic standing. I think 2027 vision point of view, I think we have done reasonably done, we have done well. Notwithstanding that, the core aspiration of the developed nation by 2020 remained unmet. Okay, why it has happened? Why it has happened? Really look at here, missing ownership in the individuals and private. I think everybody thought somebody will make 2040 mission. No, somebody will not make it. It is every Indians supposed to be there. I think that has not happened there. Across the cross section, it has happened there. I think that is the lesson. That is the real lesson to be learned from there. That means Vision 2020 laid the foundation for 2047. If you connect these two things, I feel need to progress as a movement. It is not somebody else tells 2047, India will move like that. Indians have to realize in India has to do as a movement. That without that it is not possible. 2020, that is the lesson as far as I am concerned, it has come there. So now you look at here, just cutting forward, this year's budget alone, where we stand. You look at here, the rupees, how it goes across the various divisions, you look at here. Various things are there. Good amount of spending we are happening there, starting from transport, defense, rural development, everything. As a first cut, it looks like that. But I see there is a glaring issue in this. The issue is, you look at here, defense and transport, we are crossing nearly more than 100 lakh crore. So it's more than 10 lakh crore. Okay. But whereas we are asking scientific departments, all departments together, their salary, their infrastructure, maintenance, all put together, we are not crossing 60,000 crore. Okay. So when you want to grow like that, when you want to do like that, I am not telling anything, just an observation I am putting it there. Is it possible? Question ourselves. Then what can be done? So not only questioning, still I feel, because I started from that humble beginning, ISRO started from the humble beginning, that didn't stop us to reach there. So this need not stop us to go there. So what is to be done? Okay, this is the thing I'm trying to put. Not only here, I put even big scientific organizations. Okay, ISRO, DI also I'm putting it there. So dynamic departments are getting like this. Notwithstanding that, there is an RDA fund of 1 lakh crore. That is coming in a big way. That is more than any other departments. That means the research, development, innovation fund is coming there. That fund is open to any startup, any youngsters. It's possible. I think there is a big cliff I'm seeing there, because it is not an established organizations with that inertia may not have the new innovation. The youngsters, if you go, the new innovation come, it's a very good thinking. Okay, this was not known from backside is that there. So this is coming there. This can help in a very big way. That's what I felt. So that means it can create the challenges, whatever I told here, in achieving economic growth. These are all the challenges. Climate change is there, financial concerns are there, demographic transition. That means a lot of elders will be there. In spite of that, you have to grow. Urban infrastructure have to develop much. It will keep growing, but still it has to keep going in a big way. Geopolitical turbulence, it's day in, day out, it's happening there. All these are all the challenges. But I feel these challenges are giving an opportunities for us in many ways. For example, climate change is really a challenge. But I feel it's giving an opportunity for us. Green growth and climate leadership, India can lead the world. I feel it's possible. Not only feeling, down the line I will show it's possible, and already we are doing. Similarly, demographic transition, reinventing co-living of youngsters and elders called for, I think we should do it. Okay? And financial constraints, all other things also to be taken care like that. So that means, it may look like heavy what I'm telling, but down the line I will show you somewhat later way. So that means India's demography power 2047 will be, elders will be a good number will be there. So harnessing wisdom of elders plus innovation of youth, how we can go together. Elders bring experience and values, long-term vision and institutional memory. But you can bring, youth brings agility and creativity, digital fluency and entrepreneurship drive. And intergenerational, because now we're taking every 15 years one generation. That means your life expectancy is 80, 85 years. You have to live with the 5 generations with you, along with you. Okay, that means intergenerational connectivity and intergenerational collaboration accelerates innovation possible. That means mentorship plus reverse mentorship creates a continuous learning society. Doesn't mean elder only has to mentor there. We can take mentorship from younger also. I think it's keep evolving there. So that this is the lessons we should take it there. That means a resilient, inclusive, future-ready nation where every generation contributing to national progress. Every generation, 5 generations are sitting with you. Every generation contributes their own additions. Is it? You look at again. I am putting the lessons only. You look at here. Once upon a time, Japan and US were coming neck to neck. In a progress point of view, number 1, number 2, US and Japan is concerned. But it becomes stagnant after some time. That is the point where we are starting now. Okay, that means the elders number outgrowing is happening there. After that, Japan has not grown at all. It is holding that same thing. But whereas US has gone up, okay, It is because they have taken a large number of migrant laborers, very, very productive laborers from across the world, creamy layers they have taken. That is the one which took them in exponential growth. Okay, this is what it shows there. Okay, the exponential growth for them would happen is because of the migrant laborers increase there, and their percentage has gone. Whomever has goes is not a child. It's all productive laborers. Being a doctor, being an engineer, being a scientist, whomever they go, they are the top players from the across the globe they have taken, and that is the one which made them. But whereas Japan confined within their own people, and that is the thing happened. This is a lesson learned. That's why I'm putting it there. And even the percentage of thing down the line also, even though Trump had like this, but their projection tells migrant laborers they want to encourage more. Productive people they want to encourage more, but not other way. Now you look at Asia, China, India, Japan concern, another dimension wherein 1980 onwards I'm putting up to the thing, the median age point of view, you look at here, what is the median age of India, median age of China, median age of average of Asia, forget it this, then that is Japan. Okay. Now you look at this tells why Japan is stagnant. Okay, median age crosses 40 after that stagnation has come. Similarly, median age is crossing now China. China already the initial signs have come. Initial sign of China's progress coming down is already has come. India not to happen. Okay, India is still we have to go a long way. But 2047 that will happen. Okay, not to happen, these lessons we have to learn. That is the basic idea. Now you look at the things is another way you look at here emerging opportunity as I put it here, the population of Japan working age, I am putting it the working age point of view. Working age point of view, the median age comes, the working population keep coming down. Okay, this is what happening. But India is still keep growing, but we have to wake up before that drops. That is the idea I'm trying to put that. So now you look at here, we are here, and ours will continue to be growth until 2047. Okay, 2047 onwards it may fall. So India will grow, but India not to fall like China, or China is going to happen. As far as I am concerned, another 10 years, China cannot hold like this. Japan already is keep falling there. Okay, they are doing. So definitely this calls for, this is a lessons learned. This is what I told, young and elderly, start working, continue to working. I think that is very much called for. This is how I feel. I as an youngster, something I told, accepted by the elder that time. That's how I have grown in ISRO. And I become young elder. I started working with youngsters there. This is what happening there. So this is within our DNA, which is our blood, nothing new. But we have to make this happen across the cross section. That to happen there. That's what I'm trying to put the thing is concerned. As a story 2, part 2. This is part 2. Sorry for taking big length. So that means in ISRO I started working with the youngsters. But now we have to retire there. Government of India, you cannot grow much. Now I'm 68. 8 years back I retired. When I retired, it was looking like this. Okay, what I'm going to do? Okay, next day it's happened to that. So, but still, what can be done? One is a pensioner. Even today, Bangalore is a pensioner's paradise. At least the place where I live. Okay, may not be the whole Bangalore where I live. Whether continue that way, or else you can go to the private sector. Okay, even now I think the people are ready to take me, person like me. Or else you can be science and technology. The society will connect. Both the government of Karnataka and government of Tamil Nadu. They have various positions are given, I can do it, that's possible. So which one to select was there. So then obviously, you know that Chandrayaan 1, Mars, what all I have taken is, take everything together. Why got to forget, okay? Live a pensioner's life, okay? Still you can go a private sector, also you can work for that. Science and technology, also you can work for that. Place like this also I can come and talk. Sundays only. Nothing stops me. So then the whole thing looks very green. Whole thing was looking very green for me today. Even today, I'm looking here. It is looking like even brighter than what I joined ISRO at this point of time. It's looking like this. What does that mean? What does that mean? Translate here. I am not really actively, I cannot tell that, but definitely playing a catalyst role across various cross sections of the startup industries today. Okay, starting from EV vehicles, green energy, or going for the healthcare robotic system, or we are talking about space robotics concern, and agri waste to wealth. So you look at here various things. So what all I learned here, I'm trying to learn still further, but still what thing is concerned, it's happening across various boards. I think last two days back also, another new board also become there. That is not part of this, because the viewgraph is 2 days old. Okay, so that's happened to that. But I do some social service also. Whatever gains from here, whatever people give here, that also goes there. And beyond that, I written the books. To that date, 9 books I have written there. Okay, and 2 of the books I have written literary awards also. Leave alone, I'm writing there. And I talk like this. This also keep happening. This is a part 2 of the story. Just give an example of what does that mean. Okay, this is, I started my schooling very, very humble beginning. Today, my school is not like that. My school looks like this. This is not a laboratory. This is a classroom makeshift arrangement wherein my juniors will be able to make the smaller satellites. Satellites they'll make. Okay, and they learn like this as if come to ISRO, how you can be like that. The government of Tamil Nadu school itself, it's happening there. Then not only that, I started looking at the why it is sounding rocket. Now that is rocket is done by the students. Not only this is a rocket of the similar nature, it's better than that. The hybrid called. Normally the solid rocket or liquid rocket there. The hybrid, the one which you have done here, because it safety point of view, this is better there. And making this on the nose of that, the satellites, whatever they have done will be there. And this rocket.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
இந்த வேர்வைக்கும் வெற்றிகள் வேர்வைக்குமே உன்னை உள்ளத்தில் முன்வைக்குமே.
So that means looking at my sounding rocket, my journey started. But now this rocket students are making now that this is happening. So this is the thing wherein I can work with the students also now. Okay, nothing stops me to go over down and do that is concerned. And not only that, this is another many things I'm telling about. Just few examples I will put it. So I can take few minutes, no? Can take. Okay, this is, you know, that waste to wealth. Now India is agricultural produce is huge. Okay, but India also wasting lot of agricultural produce also. It's equally happening. So how we can really intervene that? That's what we are trying. One example I'm telling. So this is a banana cultivation. India is the largest cultivator of the banana cultivation in the world. Okay, but the cultivation is only for the fruit. But the full stem is there. After that stem is a big stem is there. That is going a waste. Okay, and that waste, is it possible to make it a slightly different way? We have done, and every plant we can make it something called a fiber we can create, and that can create across sort of a liquid nutrient. It can generate crop protection point of view. Then structures for the boilers, fuel, something like that can do. These things we have automated the whole system that way. That way, look at here, one banana tree after cultivation. After the harvest is happening, the trees are taken like a sugar cane coming to the industry. That industry develops all these products in a place, and it's already happening there. Okay, in Maharashtra only, Bhusawal district, it's already happening there. And that goes like your targeted medicine. We are going a targeted nutrient to the plants. Okay, that is something different from food crops. Pulses are different, and cash crops are different. Vegetables are different. This way, what it looks for, what it expects, I think that is the one. Basically, pH values plus minus 7, you can keep it going. So that depending upon what you are targeting, that we are changing it there. So that gives nutrients a slightly different way. So this is like. Already this plant is there. Okay, this along with some institute, other thing we have built it there. During the COVID time, this is happened there, it's coming. So similarly, I am there in the robotic surgery also, SSI also I am a part of that thing. So now you look at here, the tele-surgery point of view, I think good amount of work going on there. And teleprompting is very, very effective. Senior surgeons are prompting the younger surgeons, also prompting we are able to do in a way like this. Beyond that, now you look at here, this we started working slightly early, but today it is becoming very, very neck of the moment it has come. And that means you look at to make the green world we tried, but now a lot of the crisis has come today, Iran, US war. It's LPG and coal getting into problem there. Coal, okay, LPG getting into problem. But now we address this like this. Now you look at here, over 340 million kitchens, stoves are in India is there. And we have steam boiler alone, even on iron steel industry, that's another great thing is there. So in nearly 2 billion metric tons of coal we are using annually. All put together, this makes the challenging the world to be not to be warmer. Okay, it calls for intervention, and that intervention is basically look at here. We have done using from the water try to take hydrogen oxygen. Hydrogen oxygen cryogenic only allows us to go to the moon or Mars. Okay, now the same thing back to the earth is concerned. If you electrolysis way hydrogen oxygen you take, that hydrogen and the composite thing will able to do starting from a kitchen stove to the boilers, it's possible to energize it. Not only possible to energize it, already we started. Okay, the coming weeks, coming days, I think you will know already some pilot projects going on there. So wherein we can touch for the kitchenettes to all the industry applications, we are able to do this concern. So that means it is a totally different way of doing. That means hydrogen, nominally people talk about generate it and store it and transport it and use it. That gives a lot of risk is there, but here it is not like that. Like LPG stove, you will given a system, that system will generate the hydrogen and you can use it there for purposes whatever is there. It's totally different concept we are going that can touch every aspect of the thing, starting from consumer daily use product to manufacturing process point of view, many things it's possible. And this is how you look at here, various stoves are working. Okay, using basically it is from the water taken the hydrogen and oxygen, and that composite gas we are able to do it in that. This is in the system in Coimbatore that we have realized. In the coming days, I think you will see the real announcement. There's various different types of the stoves, various temperatures you can go, 400 degrees Celsius to 2000 degrees Celsius, depending upon the requirement that we are able to generate it there. Okay, now you can see the various systems. Hydrogen remains same, that we are like LPG, how you are using, similarly this can be used in different ways you can use it. This is also here, metal cutting in the industry, they are trying to do there. So beyond that, sorry, I'm taking slightly more time because I thought because today India is such a way it's bubbling with that. Okay, I cannot resist not to tell that. This another thing is AI is coming in a big way. But AI centers are concerned point of it takes a lot of resources with respect to power and water is concerned. But because of that, like any textile industry, leather industry, iron industry type of a thing, US doesn't want to host. US is trying to host in India. I feel there is a catch. If we give it, we ourselves will have a similar problem. So we should have some answer for that. Towards that already we have taken. I think for this board only I am there. Wherein we are trying to position our data center, AI data center in the space. And that we are going to do that. And US missed for discovering water on the moon. India has done it. US could not succeed first attempt to the Mars. We have succeeded. US is trying to give the data centers to us, and we will tell it we will put Indian space rather than putting Indian soil. So there your resources are much better. Okay, power is a much better resource available, and temperature maintenance is much easier for that is concerned, and that we are inching towards that opportunity is concerned. And yes, while I am doing all these things, I am telling to this my grandson. Because what I'm looking, this also is really required. Pensioner's life, I told now. I'm not losing my pensioner's life. I continue to be as a pensioner life. Pensioner's life, definitely you have to tell, you have to convey your stories to not only here, to my grandson also. I think this also I am trying to do because I feel the journey of lifelong learning helps. Along with them, we can learn a lot. And co-living of elders and youngsters, it happens there. I think these two things definitely is the need of the hour. That means, as I feel, realization of the SDG, that means Sustainable Development Goals, requires all-inclusive people movement. Everybody has to feel it's a part of it. But I feel it's an opportunity to improve both standard and quality of life to all. Every human being deserves a dignified life. I need not emphasize that here, you know that. But let India at 100 opens the door for this whole thing. I feel India at 100 is an opportunity window. Every Indian, be it whomever it is, he is a politician or the lecturers or the doctors or engineers or students, mother or son, whomever it is, grandfather or grandson, I think every Indian should feel inclusive of this. If they do, anything is possible. Okay. After superannuation, one of the highest paid pensioner I'm concerned, I am not keeping quiet there because I'm enjoying the life like this. I think this is basically required. This is what I told across the generation we can do it. Today, I work more than 2 generations down with me. Okay, 2 or 3 generations I can tell. I can go, my grandson, it will be still further also. Okay, so across the spectrum of the people, definitely I'm able to do. So if to live our own life meaningful, definitely helps. So I think this is the basically message just I want to tell. Beyond what Dr. Kumar asked, instead of repeating, I thought something more. Probably it can be a bit lengthy, but I cannot help. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Annadurai. When we were young, we were told, don't promise the moon, go get the moon. All those phrases we have heard. But in your talk on innovation and implementation, the story of a ISRO man we just saw, how you dreamt of the moon and you did what you desired, and of course you showed how ISRO also grew. And apart from that, you have taken us to 2047, and it's encouraging for us that India is going to be definitely progressing to a stage. In between, of course, we got a scare whether Iran and Trump have started the bombing, by the noise which we got. But again, as you said, after retirement and also, you are not going to keep quiet, and it's a lesson for all of us that we must continue to work or teach the youngsters. Thank you for a wonderful conference. This is a standing ovation.
Thank you, sir, for that wonderful oration, and would like to felicitate you, sir, for the same. And I'll read the plug. Association of Fellow Gynecologists AFGCON 2026 presents an award of appreciation to Mallaiswamy Annadurai for delivering the oration From Innovation to Implementation, Twin Story of ISRO and ISRO Man at the 26th AFG Annual Scientific Conference held on 29th March 2026 at The Club, Andheri, signed by President Dr. Nitin Shah, Secretary Dr. Bela Bhatt, Treasurer Dr. Jayanti Kamath.
लाइन केबल
Everyone with your cap, please come near the dais so that we can have a nice group photograph. I'll invite everyone with the cap. You can collect it from the Nopex Pharma. He is there to provide you. Please collect the cap. And please come near the stage. Everyone, I invite everyone for a group photo.
इधर आ जाना ऊपर आ जाना कम दिस वे तो आएगा ना मैडम इधर आ जाओ ऊपर आ जाना ऊपर स्टेज पे तेरा ले आ राजा वाइड आ जा
पीछे आना दोस्त दोस्त रुकना पड़ा है दोस्त
आएगा आएगा रुको उसका भी लेके
वो जब लेगा तभी जाना
लेगा जब तक ले ले तो नेचुरल मार
वो खड़ा है ना
ठीक है मार देना थोड़ी दिखने वाला वो
अरे खड़ा है
हाँ ठीक है ना घुमा दे
वो ले रहा तो बीच में तो सही है ना
इधर आ जाए पीछे थोड़ा
जब जा
वीडियो भी ले वाह घुमा दे Wait. Wait everyone. चलो रेडी 3 2 1 हाथ ऊपर करके चिल्लाओ जरा जरा थोड़ा हाथ ऊपर करके थैंक यू
Panel discussion is interestingly titled The Day-to-Day Clinical Grind, Fetal Medicine and High-Risk Pregnancy.
We'll start our panel discussion immediately, but I thanks Nopex Pharma for this beautiful memento for my year. Thank you very much.
Our moderators for today's panel are Dr. Raju Sahitya, sir. Sir is a senior consultant gynecologist and a fetal medicine consultant. Welcome, sir. Our next moderator is Dr. Rakesh Pandya, sir. Sir has been AFG president. He's a consultant gynecologist at Raj Nursing Home. Welcome, sir. Our panelists for today need no introduction. It is a star-studded panel of obstetricians, fetal medicine consultants. Dr. R.M. Saraugi, sir. Dr. Sudhir Nayak, sir. Dr. Karthik Bhagat, sir. Dr. Purnima Satoskar, madam.
Hello.
Dr. Bela Bhatt, madam. Two expert fetal medicine and ultrasound specialists, Dr. Chandar Lulla, sir. And Dr. Anurad Badade, sir.
Okay, please, Dr. Saraugi, Dr. Sudhir Nayak, Dr. Karthik Bhagat, Dr. Unnati Shah, Dr. Purnima Satoskar, Dr. Bela Bhatt, and we have two ultrasonologist specialists here, Dr. Chandar Lulla and Anirudh Badade. So please, I request all be seated. This is a very important panel. Put on the title. Title. Why it's not matching with this? ये नहीं है. So I quickly welcome you all because we have to also go at the Chandrayaan speed now, so that we can cover up as much as possible. And the objective of this panel is to bridge the gap between textbook protocols and the bedside reality.
Excuse me.
Not coming? Yeah. Hello.
Closer.
Hello. So we'll try to bridge the gap between textbook protocols and what we really see at bedside. And,
I think it will be very nice if the audience, all our delegates, please take your seats.
all you gynecologists, obstetrician and gynecologists, please sit down. Hello. Better. Yes. So this is the pyramid of care. Hello. So this is the pyramid of care which was there since the 1930 and up to 1990 when Kypros Nikolaides thought about doing something in the matter, and this is AI generated image. So I kept on saying that the first trimester should go up at the apex in the upright pyramid, but it could not change. So human intelligence is not replaced yet. We have to work with our intelligence, and this is what happened after a lot of hard work put in. The inverted pyramid of prenatal care came in, which took the high-risk tri-age and brought them to a specialized care. And the mid-trimester gave a lot of surveillance, and the third trimester went to deliver, and safe to deliver. So let us start before much ado that in our clinic, all of you must be experiencing day to day patients coming in and you want to offer them the screening. One type of patient is there who wants an economical test. There is the other type who wants the most accurate. So I want to know from the experts here, combined screening, which includes the nuclear translucency and biochemistry over NIPS, in which situation you will push the combined test and in which you would like to recommend NIPS and it is not negotiable. So I'll start with our obstetrician colleagues. Dr. Sarogi will start the ball rolling. Then Dr. Sudhir Naik should be ready to take over, and then Kartik Bhagat.
If you talk about economic screen, I think the combined screening of NT plus biochemistry is the best one. That should be the ideal thing which should be done for practically every woman on this who is pregnant and comes to you for first time screening.
Good, well said. Dr. Sudhir Naik, you have to add anything?
Yeah, I think what we have to do practically is, first of all, explain to the patient the need for this screening. Whether it is expensive, whether it is most accurate, all those factors have to be first explained to the patient. So you need to identify the patients each and every patient who comes to you in the first trimester, you will have to, at the first visit, take time to talk to them. What is the need for how are you going to screen? Most patients are going to tell, the mother-in-law is going to tell you, हमारे time पे इतना तो sonography नहीं होता था, इतने blood tests नहीं होते थे, अब आजकल क्यों हो रहा है? So what you need to tell them is that things have changed because now facilities are available where you can try and detect, and if there is treatment available, then you can treat those or take care of those problems, and therefore at the end of it, what has changed is our expectations from the pregnancy. The process of delivery has not changed across the centuries. Hundreds and thousands of years ago, ladies used to deliver in the same way as they do now. What has changed is our expectations from the pregnancy. When we were maybe 30, 40 years down the line ago, the lady used to have maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pregnancies. Now we are in the era of 1 or 2 children. In that 1 or 2 children, both the mother and child have to be healthy. So once you expect, you tell the patient that you are expecting that you need the patient, the mother and child both to be healthy, you will need to screen. So the option of what is the most economical or most accurate, you talk to the patients, and depending upon their financials, and the risk-based stratification, you will decide between.
So you mean to say counseling is the key. Counseling is the key. Absolutely. If you counsel a patient, you can go ahead and give the appropriate. Now, Dr. Kartik Bhagat will tell me, when is NIPS not negotiable?
See, I think what is non-negotiable is to have a screen to rule out pregnancies which is probably going to be abnormal. So ultrasound is non-negotiable, proper NT is non-negotiable, it should be done well, and that is where we need to push. Biochemistry or
Kartik,
NIPS
NT by a FMF certified person only?
Everybody should do it well. So everybody should get certified. Right now you have people who are fetal medicine consultants who look at it differently. There are radiologists who perform it who are going to look at it differently. But everybody doing ultrasound should improve their skill set and do it well.
So he has mentioned the situation where there is a high-risk pregnancy, elderly patient, and where there is a history of previous problem. So there, NIPS is a must, because you will then start jumping from one screening to the other screening, and you will end nowhere, because that doubt will always remain. So if the situation, the scenario is in between.
NIPC along with NT scan.
NT is always, it is mandatory.
NT scan has to be the primary screening test for every patient.
Yeah. So NT is a must, whether you are doing combined testing or you are doing NIPS. Because what NT can tell you, NIPS can't tell you. So it's very, very important. And when there is an in-between scenario, who will take up this? Anirudh.
So if we run the combined test, and I can suppose I get a risk of more than 1 in 100, and then another category is from 100 to say 1 in 1000, and then less than 1000. So I've got three categories: high risk, intermediate risk, and a low risk. And so the high risk patients will go for invasive. The intermediate risk, we can offer NIPS to that category from 100 to 1 in 1000. And the low risk, we can not do anything further. So that is a good point in which we can, what we call this as contingent screening. I think this is a really good system to adopt.
Dr. Chandarlula, could you tell
Raju,
me? Yeah.
you have mentioned don't jump to an CVS or amniocentesis immediately. CVS is as such out, no?
CVS is not out. We are talking about
First trimester
when
screening.
we have
So
a
see-
screening and it is an in-between scenario. Should you tell the patient straight away, you need to do an invasive test? We are referring to that part. So it is not so is the answer. And I'm sure, Dr. Chandarlula, what have you to say?
Yeah, so I think screening is important for everybody. That's important. Like he said, ultrasound is not negotiable. If patient can afford, you can go to combined screening and NPS. If you look at what's going to happen to the future, if I may add, I think the cost of everything is coming down, and so will cell-free DNA, and every woman will get cell-free DNA in the future. As of now, at least combined screening and ultrasound. And CVS is the best thing that could have happened to us. Because if the patient is high risk, you have to do a CVS. You cannot just escape with a screening test. You need a diagnostic test to come to a confirmation of what the diagnosis is. At this point, I just want to lay a point of interest and a point of devotion to our Kypros Nicolaides and also to the Asian women. Because in 1990, when I was in Fetal Medicine Foundation, it was the Asian women who drove him to develop the NT scan. And they told him that please tell us something is wrong in a pregnancy in the first trimester, not when the whole world knows we are pregnant. So I think we should be proud of the demand that our Asian women placed on him.
So you said that you have to differentiate, and those at high risk, you would do an invasive. That's
Of
what you're
course,
saying.
invasive is the final
But-
goal of any high risk pregnancy.
So NIPS remains here for only one reason, I would say, and you agree or please let me know. If the patient is very, very no for invasive, then as a second tier, can you do a screening with NIPS to reduce the number of invasive techniques?
So NIPS is a very high performance screening test in specific situations where you can use an NIPS to confirm a diagnosis, but it is not a 100% test. It is a screening test. You need a confirmation test even if your NIPS is positive.
Very important point made. Even if you agree for a patient who disagree for invasive, you must tell her it is also a superior screening test. It is not a diagnostic test. Maybe she will come out in flying colors in that as a low risk, then you have to counsel and she has to take a call.
Can I just add a point, and I'm sure Dr. Lulla will agree with me. It's not only that risk which you are looking at, but you are looking very carefully at the fetus in the first trimester. And if you find anything which is structural or like a soft marker, then even if it was falling between 1 in 100 to 1 in 1000, you would offer a CVS.
Yes, I totally agree, and the message given here is you have to have an ultrasound, because ultrasound, it is not any negotiation with ultrasound. If you find some more markers there, then you don't have to unnecessarily subject the person from one screening test to the second screening test.
Raju, again coming back to the same point of CVS. CVS is eligible only up to 11 weeks or 12 weeks, not
No, sir,
beyond that.
11 to 14 weeks.
No,
The
we
range
have
of nuchal
extended.
scan, yes, we do till 14 weeks. It's 11 to 13 weeks, 6 days. CRL 45 to 84. That's when we do the nuchal scan with the double marker. Yes, CVS, we do till,
14
yes, sir, we do
Up to
till
14
14 weeks.
Yes,
14 weeks.
Dr. Rajendra Sarogi, now, first we used to talk about 10, 11 weeks, and you used to say never before 10 weeks, because it's a vascular insult. But after this screening which has come, CVS is mostly performed between 12 and 14 weeks.
Raju, Mike.
Yes, Karthik. So it is usually performed between 12. You may, in a high-risk patient, do an early NT scan and even do a CVS early if there is something come. But most of the CVSs are done now between 12 and 14 weeks and never before that, because we have to wait for the first trimester screening, one way or the other. So
when
there
we are
is
talking, I'm here as an obstetrician, but I'm also a medical legal guy. So I just need to tell the audience that you also need, before you screen anything, please tell them what is this, what are you doing? That it is a screening test, you are detecting a low risk, high risk or intermediate risk. So you need to tell the patient what is the meaning of this. A low risk does not mean zero risk. Please try to explain this to the patient. If there is an intermediate risk and you have advised an NIPS because she is afraid of an invasive test, at that time when you tell her also, again tell her this is the 99% accuracy, not 100% accuracy. The gold standard for confirmatory diagnosis would still remain an amniocentesis. Am I wrong in saying this, Dr. Lula?
No. I think it would be now CVS, but amnio is stuck in the minds of most gynecologists, but we prefer CVS now because it's early diagnosis. We want to finish all the diagnostics before 14 weeks.
That's right. So if you have a patient, like it is shown here, 25-year-old with a normal NT, but the biochemistry has come 1 in 50. Bela, what do you have to say about this?
So here
what next?
Yeah, so we assume that a normal NT scan, there are no soft markers, NT is in normal range, NB is present, and ductus venosus tricuspid. We have looked at all the markers. There are no structural defects in the fetus. And the biochemical, because of the biochemistry, the risk has come to 1 in 50. So whenever there is a high risk, we would offer invasive tests, chorion villus sampling to this patient, and counsel for the same because we'll get the results earlier. By 13, 14 weeks, we'll get the results in the hand, and then they can take a call whether they want to continue or not. So that's always the offering is always diagnostic test. Very rarely in such a high risk if the patient refuses, only we would.
So the message is that when the NT is very high, then you can straight away go for a diagnostic test. But if NT is normal, biochemistry and ultrasound is going to take care by the other markers and all and decide, right?
Suppose she has twins then?
We are coming to that. We are coming to that. So you get a very high beta HCG in the biochemical marker. What do you think you should do next? Yes, Chanda.
Yeah, there's a risk for chromosomal abnormality like trisomy 21. So you look at the entire combined risk, but if your beta HCG is very high, then you can offer a more advanced test. You may even offer cell-free DNA or an invasive test like CVS.
So this is one biochemistry where beta HCG is almost double. What is expected is 1 MOM. And if it is 2 MOM, the likelihood of a chromosomal abnormality of trisomy 21 is very high, and therefore this patient can be offered even invasive technique because that's what it says. Can you rely on NIPS if the NT is 3.5?
No, because NIPS is only important for major aneuploidies, whereas NT above 3.5, you may be having a single gene defect, you may be having other defects. So it's very important that you offer more than routine karyotyping. You have to offer microarray, etc. So NIPS is not the test for high NT.
So NIPS only looks into at few chromosomes, whereas a thick NT needs a deeper genetic dive. What do you do when NIPS returns as no result or low fetal fraction? Dr. Purnima Satoskar.
One of the concerns when you get a no call is that it could be an aneuploid fetus because these don't release the placenta does not release the DNA. So we have to explain this to the patient. If otherwise she is looking, the fetus is looking absolutely normal, she is very young, you could ask her to repeat it. But a safer bet would be to go in for an invasive test so as not to miss the aneuploid.
So the message here is don't wait and delay the diagnosis.
In
Bela,
fact,
you want to add something?
20% of aneuploidy may be seen in the no-shows group.
Yes, that's what is the message is, that if you get a low fraction, don't think that if you wait for 2 weeks and you get a better fraction, think about it could be an aneuploid fetus.
Another thing is that if the fetal fraction is low the first time, the second, even if you repeat the second time, 20% of them again have a low fraction. So that's another issue.
So that is what is we are trying to say, that don't waste time just doing it again, because the lab is telling you, okay, you give me blood once again after 2 weeks and we may have a, you must think about aneuploidy, and if it is an obviously a high BMI patient, a very obese, healthy patient, there also fetal fraction can come low. So I hand over to my co-moderator for further.
So basically, let us dive a little deeper into our reports that we see of dual marker screening, as we say. So this dual marker screening reports have got, usually we are very happy with seeing the low risk report. Low risk, low risk, low risk. So that is what we are happy to see. But there is something on the right side of those reports, which is in MOMs. So my question is that should an average gynecologist, what should he know about the MOMs? Yes, in a dual marker test.
Yes,
yes,
so in
Bella?
the dual marker, it's always we say that whenever there is a report of nucleus combined test that comes in your hand, before jumping on to looking at the risk, we should always have a look at the markers, ultrasound markers, have a look at the MOMs of beta HCG and PAPE. Because we know the different combination of MOMs of this biochemistry is going to increase the risk for certain conditions. As we know that beta HCG more than 2 MOM with PAPE less than 0.5 MOM, this combination is increasing the risk for trisomy 21. The same time, in that both the beta HCG and PAPE MOMs are on lower side, less than 0.5 MOM, is going to increase the risk for trisomy 18, 13, and some other conditions as well, triploidy, etc. So it's always better to first go and have a look at what is making the risk high, whether it's the marker, the nuchal translucency which is high, other markers present, or it's the biochemistry which is making the risk high, and then go and look at the risk so that you have already the idea as to what is giving the high
So we have to look at the whole picture of the scan as well as the MOM. But particularly at the MOMs, is there any kind of a cutoff in PAPE, higher side or lower side, beta HCG higher side or lower side, which we should be alarmed as singularly?
So in general, more than 2 MOM beta HCG is high, less than 0.5 MOM for PAPE and PLGF is low, but farther it is from 1, more significant it is.
Exactly. So if it is coming in the low risk group, but it is farther away from 1, we should be alert. And so alert means exactly what we should do.
Rakesh, one more thing you need to be very careful about when you look at these reports is confirm where your NT reported on the and the report is proper. Because most of the times it is the NT which is wrongly entered which gives you a abnormal report.
So we should check that also. But usually I think everybody does that you do the NT scan and then you ask the patient to get the dual marker done. So we hope that it is.
So I am happy that he raised this point, because that's very important. That comes to the same point, whether it has been done in a standard manner.
Right.
You look at the images, whether the CRL and NTNB image is proper, and then only interpret the report, whether it is truly done. Because otherwise the risk calculation will be
So
wrong.
the question initially was FMF certified person only should do NT or anybody can do NT?
I think the FMF certified person, because that ensures a certain degree of quality has been gone through before she has got the certification.
I think initially there was a time when the labs were asking for the FMF certification number of the scanner, right? So that was
But
the
I
time.
think every obstetrician can at least have a look at the images and see whether it's done in a standard manner or not. Otherwise the risk calculation is going to be wrong.
Okay.
That is at least every.
So we need to ensure that.
We must.
Fine.
You know, this thing about doing the nuchal scan first and then asking for the blood test is, I think, started by the labs. Actually, the biochemistry is more accurate if you do it earlier. And we need to talk to the labs about this, because that will improve our results.
So what do you have to say about this, Bela?
So yes, the beta HCG and MOMs are more sensitive towards 10-11 weeks, but the problem is that many a times if the only thing the lab needs is a proper gestational age, and for there a proper ultrasound which has been done for dating. If there is a good CRL which is then between 8 to 10 weeks, they can definitely do the beta HCG markers and the double marker. But second point would come is that patient has to come once for giving the biochemistry, and again come for the nuchal scan, which we prefer around 12 weeks because we can have a look at the structures of the fetus also as well. So in general, practically what we do is call the patient at around 12 weeks and do everything together so that the patient also doesn't have to come twice.
What is Oscar then? You let me know what is Oscar.
So it is at the same time you do the nuchal scan, you look at all the soft markers, you do the biochemistry, and you have one risk, and then if CVS is required, you do the CVS
Very
also
right.
on the same day.
One
So
stop
everything
for
on the same
counseling
day.
and assessment of fetus at risk. The Oscar policy is being practiced in USA. So at 12 weeks the patient is called. She is counseled, the ultrasound is done, and the things follow. So that there is no follow-up, like missing the patient, not following up. All those problems are taken care of.
What I would like to say is that, the combined test, as we say, we do it at 12 weeks generally because it's convenient for the patient to come once. But very often, many gynecologists are not aware that the combined test can be done in 2 stages, and that it is better to do it in 2 stages, because if the patient comes early to you, not at 12, if the patient has come to you at 10 weeks, you can collect the blood and send the patient for biochemistry and then give a date for the NT scan. So when the patient has come the first time, say 10 weeks or 9 or 10 weeks, you can collect the blood, and the next time the patient has come for NT scan at 12 weeks, you can give the final report because you have the biochemistry ready. You don't have to, even if you call the patient at 12 weeks, you've done the NT scan, the biochemistry will take another 2-3 days to come. The patient has to come again for the report. So, but if you give the blood at 10 weeks and call the patient at 12 weeks, you can give the final report at the same time. But for that, we need an awareness that this combined test can be done in 2 stages and that you can collect the blood at 10 weeks.
I think the obstetricians here can have the final say what exactly they are doing.
But the problem is the labs will not do it. If you don't send the NT report along, most labs will say, no, please send the NT. And if you're, even if you have a routine scan, they'll say, please send with the detail, with the images.
Exactly. That is exactly what is happening.
Very good
So
point.
I don't know where is the lag behind, whether we have not been able to convince the labs or there is some problem. But at the moment, I think most of the reputed labs will not do
Because they want to give the combined
biochemistry
risk.
without the and they will only give
The
you a
only
combined
reason
risk
is-
based on that.
Exactly.
As of now, this is what is
That is
happening.
exactly what is
But,
happening.
my experience is different because we do send at 10 weeks and the labs are accepting. So that is not my experience.
I think this is a controversy. The only thing was that this started in England because they give bloods at 10 weeks and therefore the accuracy was found to be higher. But in our geographic condition, compliance is a big problem. So it's a big trade-off. I think 12 weeks, do both together is the best method in India because otherwise people coming twice will not happen.
That's what the follow-up is very important, and those patients who have done blood test given for biomarkers may not follow up. So therefore, Oscar, the way they are doing it, and most of us, I think, we are doing that.
Now, with this first trimester screening, the dual marker screening, can you detect risk of a small for gestational age baby? Or can you combine any other test with it for that? Yes, Dr. Chandarlula.
So, PAPE is a very good marker for fetal growth restriction because it's a placental protein. So, as Bela said, less than 0.4 is indicative of a poor outcome in the pregnancy. In fact, if it's less than 0.2, it's the worst outcome, and you may find 12% of these fetuses having rare aneuploidies. So now, if the PAPE is less than 0.2, we offer amniocentesis for all these pregnancies.
It will also predict small for gestational age and preeclampsia. Yes.
How are the final
So
calculations?
basically now summarizing, how is the final risk calculated? Is the final risk only one factor or it's the sum of all?
So first of all, for that we need to understand that there is always a baseline risk for any kind of aneuploidy in a fetus that is based on mother's age. And so that makes the baseline risk for, say, for trisomy 21. And then whatever screening test that you apply to it, there is a likelihood ratio for a marker which has to be applied to that baseline risk. And then we get the final risk. So you multiply that baseline risk with that likelihood ratio of that particular marker, and the final outcome will be the final risk for that particular fetus with that screening test. That's how we calculate.
Fine. So it's basically a sum of everything: age, BMI, ethnicity, medical history, and your NT scan, which has a uterine artery mean arterial pressure.
So that is, for if you are calculating the risk for preeclampsia, we have maternal demographic factors, maternal medical history, obstetric history, mean arterial pressure, mean uterine artery PI, and then comes a biochemistry, that is PLGF. Yes.
So basically at 13 weeks, the obstetrician will have a fair idea whether this pregnancy is going to go into a high risk zone or not, right?
What is the role of placental growth factor? We never get it done, ideally we should get it done.
I believe it's a very expensive investigation. So how useful is it? How mandatory
No
is
sir, these days many centers have included PLGF as a part of first trimester screening. We also offer in some of the patients.
I have seen reports from South Bombay with that, yes.
The labs have come down with the rates. Dr. Chandalulla will also agree with that.
Yes. PLGF is a very good marker for preeclampsia prediction. It's a pro-angiogenetic factor. And in a given situation, you should ask for PLGF, specifically if you've got uterine artery high resistance. Then it's better to add the PLGF for a triple calculation of...
How expensive is the test?
It's about 1,000 rupees extra to the dual marker test.
I think you should not be bothered about the cost. You drive the cost. So if all of us start doing the tests, and if we tell the labs that, okay, I will not pay you more for this, then all of them will start doing it for you. You need to drive
the cost is not too much. It's about 1,000 rupees extra.
So the early severe preeclampsias, which cause the maximum maternal morbidity, mortality and loss of the babies, almost 60 to 70% are predicted if you add PLGF to the other markers.
So there are two aspects to this. You have a 90% detection rate with a 10% false positive for the first trimester triple test for preeclampsia screening. Now, if your patient cannot afford PLGF, you can go only with the uterine artery Doppler. There's a 90% prediction with a 20% false positive. That means 10% of their patients you will be giving extra aspirin, which is an acceptable method. So if your patient cannot afford the 1,000 rupees, rely on the uterine artery Doppler. If it is high resistance, please institute aspirin. It's only a 10% increase in false positive.
I think that's a very good practical point. One more practical point I would like to ask. What about low dose aspirin? How early would you start in a particular case, or would you start only after seeing this kind of a report of uterine artery resistance very high or something like that?
See, ideally if you are dealing a case with BOH, now for example Apla syndrome, you may have to start it immediately as soon as the heartbeat is seen.
That's right.
But if you want to think about preeclampsia and IUGR, then ideal time is to start as soon as you come to know, but it should be less than 16 weeks because placentation is completed after 6 weeks. So it should be done before 16 weeks.
Yes, Bella.
Yes, so about the low dose aspirin, we always do the risk calculation as we mentioned about the all biophysical and biochemical markers. If the risk turns out to be more than 1 in 100, then we start low dose aspirin in the dose of 150 milligram at night after dinner, starting from 12 weeks till 36 weeks. And that's how it has to be done. Not that in the second trimester you see that the PI has come down, so you stop aspirin. No, you have to continue it till 36 weeks to give the best benefit. And this is the very cheap drug, simple measure which will reduce 90% of early onset preeclampsia, as Dr. Purnima mentioned. The severe form of preeclampsia, 90% of it can be prevented with this simple measure, and therefore every obstetrician should ask for mean uterine artery PI from the sonologist, even if they are not doing the scan on them.
But my question is, will it be 75, 81, 100, 150?
Yeah.
Sir, before that, it is the biochemistry and the uterine artery Doppler which is going to rationalize your use of
you use aspirin. I am not denying that. I am asking about 75, 81, 100, 150.
The dose.
The dose is 150 milligrams So can if you go by the weight of the patient, if it is 40 kgs or less, you can use 100 milligrams. But if it is 40 kg or more, 150 milligrams is a must. Most Asian women are resistant to 75 milligrams. And I see on an average daily basis, women being prescribed 75 milligrams. I think that's a very strong message. We should say, do not prescribe 75 milligrams. It is useless. 150 milligrams.
This is a very important message
No,
for all
but
of us.
100 milligram is not available in India.
Sir,
150
so we
milligrams.
use 150 and
tablets.
the FIGO has taken
Either
into
75
account.
or 100.
Sir,
150.
FIGO has taken into account past 20 years studies and found that almost 30% females are resistant to 75 milligram. So you must use only in high risk and only 150 milligram. And ASPRA is the biggest multicentric study which has proved beyond doubt that 150 milligram prevents 90% of severe form of preeclampsia.
So you cannot negate.
But American Association thinks 81 milligram is the correct dose.
But sir, again, that's what the biggest study we have in hand is
ASPRA
ASPRA study.
So
and
it
that has proved beyond doubt with 150 milligram, and we know that studies have proved that there is resistance. And why do you want
So
to
we
give
have
lesser
evolved from
dose
there.
with
What we used to do 75, we have evolved from there. Now I think all of you will agree that it is standardized now that we have to give 150 milligrams, and the effect shown by this study, what you can see, the earlier you start, the better.
Absolutely. I think
you
the
see
use of aspirin, low dose aspirin has evolved over the time. There was a time, I mean, the CLASP study came in the 90s. And at that time it said it was absolutely useless. And at the end of it, now with this ASPIRE study, but I think where we erred at that time was we were using 75 milligrams, and now we are talking of 150, 150, 150. Please take home this message. 150, no longer 75 at all. Most of our ladies are above 40 kgs.
See, it does not negate preeclampsia, but early preeclampsia, as shown in the previous slide, 89% of it was prevented before 32 years. So basically what you are doing by giving aspirin is that you are pushing the baby to an age of viability, to a place where baby will not be able to be admitted in an NICU and will be kept with the mother after birth. And you are reducing the intensity of that preeclampsia. So these are the benefits, and so we should all be using this in high risk cases freely, 150 mg at night till 36 weeks of gestational age. That is the message, right?
What is more important, aspirin has to be given at bedtime.
Yes.
Very important, yeah.
Absolutely.
You want your report? That report you want? So now we come to what we were just talking about, uterine artery Doppler, what we were talking about, and how important it is. We keep on talking about this. So what is the best time to do the first uterine artery Doppler? What is that golden window?
I think it's the nuchal scan. So everything should be done at 11 to 12 weeks. That is all the biochemistry, NT, uterine artery Doppler. The compliance will be the highest if all the tests are done at the same time.
Very rightly said. The message is, you do it early, you detect any high resistance, PI increased, you start 150 aspirin at bedtime like what you understood, you have got an opportunity to save the preeclampsia of such a patient. And if you wait till 20 weeks, that is the second window, I think, to recheck. So when do you do the second check of this?
That would be at the time of the NT scan. When you do the NT scan at 18 to 20 weeks, that
is the first time. You have, do you have to
when you do
repeat
the
this?
anomaly scan at 18 to 20 weeks, that would be the second opportunity.
Yes.
So now my question is, by doing these studies, we can make out early preeclampsia and IUGR. What about late onset preeclampsia and late
Sir, we still do not have very good sensitive tests. We can use this, but the sensitivity is less than 50% for late onset preeclampsia.
See, you saw in this image what happens if you are waiting for late. The success.
But we have some good news there, so we'll come to that in the end.
Okay, we will take this news from you.
We have some good news for sir.
So we'll now, Dr. Chandralula, if you could tell us how to read these reports. We get these images, wonderful images.
No,
how to
again,
read
the
them.
technique is very important. When you're doing a uterine artery Doppler, you should see the uterine artery just as it exits from the iliac artery. And you have to have angle correction. The peak systolic velocity of the wave should be more than 60 centimeters per second. Only then it's a reliable uterine artery Doppler. If your peak systolic velocity is less than 60, that means you have gone too far and you'll get low resistance. The resistance has to be measured at the correct site. That is at the exit from the iliac artery. And here you will see that the diastolic flow is almost 1/3 the peak systolic flow. And then we measure the pulsatility index. Only one measurement, that is the PI. And if the mean PI, that is of both sides, is more than the 95th centile, then that is considered as a high risk. Usually it is about 2.3 at 12 weeks.
At 12 weeks, if you see a notch, is it significant?
No, we rely only on PI, no longer. We have done away with the notch.
Because notch is physiologically also you may detect such a notch. That doesn't mean that she has advanced. So notch at 12 weeks is not significant, but later on, as the fetus deteriorates and the problem increases, then if the notch appears, it is of significance. Do you agree with me?
We rely mainly on the PI. I repeat, we don't rely. We have notched out the notch.
What about ophthalmic artery Doppler? Which
I
is
was
the
coming
new?
to that. That's what I was going to tell, sir. Is that we have a very good marker called S-split PLGF ratio for prediction of term preeclampsia or a preeclampsia impending within the next 3 to 4 weeks. So we have now 3 levels of testing for preeclampsia. One is first trimester, then is second trimester, and third trimester. Second trimester, you can do the S-split to PLGF ratio, and if your ratio is more than 38, indicates high risk for developing impending and term preeclampsia. The good news is that with constant research by Kipros, ophthalmic artery Doppler, as has been shown here, you have a second peak and a first peak, and the dynamics are excellent to explain, but very short of time. If your ophthalmic artery second peak to first peak ratio is more than 0.6 to 0.7, indicates term preeclampsia, because term preeclampsia is a systemic disease, and ophthalmic artery is a good predictor of the systemic circulation of the mother, and therefore you can predict systemic term preeclampsia with ophthalmic artery Doppler. So it's a good replacement for S-split to PLGF. So we have brought down the cost to 0.
Yes.
From S-split to PLGF, which costs about 5,000, you can just put the probe on the eyes, get this waveform, very easy to learn, and you get an ophthalmic artery Doppler, do both sides, and if your ratio is more than 0.6, these patients need to go on very active surveillance and early delivery.
Yes, Dr. Saroj.
My question is, suppose patient was already having hypertension earlier and she becomes pregnant. Now how will you predict?
No, if she's already hypertensive, you have to treat and then monitor with all these.
No, that is all right. How will you predict that superimposed preeclampsia
Sir, that is
will
possible
be there?
with the same markers at nuchal scan that we predict for preeclampsia. Even in the chronic hypertension, the same.
In the maternal factors,
We
pre-existing
add,
hypertension
yes,
increases
is one of the
your
high risk
likelihood
factor.
ratio. So when we are doing the triple test, the maternal factors include pre-existing hypertension.
That is covered in the history, and then we.
So the likelihood ratio goes up, and then you have first trimester monitoring, second trimester quadruple marker test, that is not for aneuploidy, it is S-split PLGF, and third trimester is now ophthalmic artery Doppler.
But this will tell you only in third trimester about the high risk, not at the.
No,
nuchal
it
scan.
will also tell you on the first trimester, but we
So
have
that
such a
studies-
good marker in the uterine artery that we don't need to do ophthalmic artery in the first trimester, but second and third trimester, ophthalmic artery is going to be very good.
Do you routinely do it?
We do it in specific situations. We are looking at the ophthalmic artery.
It's
Same
very,
charges,
it's very
sir.
easy to do. I had given this as a topic to my fetal medicine fellow, Dr. Divya, and she did 75 cases of low risk patients. We just wanted to see the feasibility. And you know, you have to take 2 measurements in each eye and do the average of it. And she did 75 patients, they were low risk, so only 2 of them developed preeclampsia, which she could predict with an abnormal value.
There are a lot of published papers by the Kipros Foundation. The ratio of S-split to PLG at 38 corresponds very well to ophthalmic artery Doppler of 0.6.
This is what, when I heard Kipros last week when he was talking, he was just go for it. And this is future. That's what he said. So, you know, screening, what we have so far been talking, is a menu. It's not a manual. And we also understood from the experts that NT scan is sacred. It is so very important because it gives you lot more information than even the biochemistry, even the NIPS. So the pre-test counseling is the key, and tell the patient before the test what a high-risk result means. Because then you should not be wanting to explain that you require an invasive prenatal diagnosis. She will ask you, when are you going to do my invasive prenatal diagnosis?
So now we move ahead to second trimester. Yeah. I think we'll finish very fast. Is it okay, or are we between lunch and the people? You want to wind up?
See, what we'll do a rapid fire thing now. Rapid fire, because we need this audience whom we have kept away from their lunch and they are just glued to the chairs. They should take some messages home.
Just
AGM at 2:15. That is.
Sorry, AGM at 2:15.
Rapid fire.
So no role for second trimester screening when you have done first trimester screening. Next.
No role of cardiac echogenic.
Yeah, that is a good message.
Yes.
And what about choroid plexus?
And also
cyst?
short femur to some extent. You have to rule out everything else before you take it.
But one thing, echogenic, I would like to say, in a low risk patient, if you have an isolated marker in a high risk, already in a high risk patient, person is 37 years old something, then we need to still investigate further. It's in a low risk patient that the isolated marker will not have significance.
So all these soft markers, single markers which are there, they have lost their importance after NIPS. Am I right?
And first trimester screening.
No. After NIPS, no.
So we have to believe in this. We don't over medicalize a normal baby. We should not create terror and cause a lot of strain of scanning and scanning and scanning. You should know when what is important. Correct? So femur length, short femur, what should you do when you see a short femur?
Now, a short femur is a common finding, and especially if an aneuploidy test has been done earlier, aneuploidy screening has been done earlier, then this often doesn't have too much importance or significance, but we still need to evaluate in a particular way. Now, if that femur is short, then we need to look at the other bones, whether there is any evidence of dysplasia. Second thing is, look at the other femur also, because you can have one femur small, one femur large, which is a single gene disorder, dysostosis. So we need to also check the other femur. Also then look at for other abnormalities, because it could be a genetic syndrome, and so you need to then do an invasive testing. Now let's assume that all that is okay. So you have an isolated femur, nothing else you found out. But still you need to rule out achondroplasia. So look at the ultrasound parameters of achondroplasia, such as the metaphyseal-diphyseal angle, the BPD-FL ratio, then the frontal bossing, then look for the hand also, for the trident hand. So all these things we need to look at in the when you have a short femur. Let's assume none of these findings are there. Then it could be a fetal growth restriction, so check for fetal growth restriction, and even if that is not there, then it could be a normal variant, or it could be an SGA fetus, both of which are normal situations. But we still need to measure the velocimetry, whether or not the femur is going down and down. If it's still going down, then you still might want to do a skeletal dysplasia panel.
But
so
before doing all this, it's very, very important what all you have to think when there's a short femur. You should look at the couple. Is the couple also short? Then you have to have serial follow-up scan, because it is all this scanning and restriction is like a movie. Doing one.
All markers should be looked in totality. If there are multiple markers, they are important. If they are isolated markers, then you can ignore them.
So this is one interesting case. I think after this we'll wind up. This was, at a routine scan or an NT scan, what we do at 12.3. This was actually a routine, not for NT. And this is the image what we got. And there was a fetus with hydrops and there was cystic hygroma. In such a situation, when you counsel, are you going to talk about doing an invasive prenatal diagnosis, or obviously you know that there is going to be an aneuploidy and there is going to be a problem, and you are going to counsel and tell the patient it's okay. Without doing the invasive, you can opt for termination. What is your take in this, Chandan?
So the most common cause of fetal hydrops is Turner syndrome. So look at the heart, you will find coarctation or hyperplastic left heart. If the heart is normal, you will offer a CVS because it is definitely high risk for aneuploidy. You will not do any other screening test. This itself is a screening test. Your screening test is positive. You will go for an invasive test.
Yeah. So this is what happened. She didn't finally agree for the invasive and we terminated. And we saw all these features in the embryo, and there was hydrops, there was cystic hygroma.
It's a trisomy 18.
So we sent the product of conception for microarray, and this is what her report came. This is just very recently on 26th March. This is how it has been reported.
Now, so far as cystic hygroma is concerned, to differentiate a large NT from a cystic hygroma, you have to look at the midline raphe. The cystic hygroma will contain the midline raphe. So that is one point I would like
The
to
implication of cystic hygroma and nuchal is the same. You need not differentiate the two. If your nuchal is high, it's high. You need not differentiate cystic hygroma.
It's the measurement which is important.
It's the measurement which is important.
Which is more important.
So I think we'll sum up now. So first trimester, screening is about precision, whether it is combined screening or NIPS. Second trimester is about the anatomy and about the perspective, the soft markers versus anomalies. And third trimester is monitoring and about the timing when to deliver to save the baby.
So we are just finishing with this, and I think Dr. Raju Saitya has taken tremendous efforts in making these slides and getting all this information here for us to discuss. And our panel has done an excellent job here in making things very clear for us that it's a multidisciplinary approach, and it is summed up very well by the panel. I think now we will not come between all of you and lunch, and we thank AFG for giving us this opportunity here to interact with all of you. Thank you very much.
On behalf of all the panelists, we thank the moderators, Dr. Raju Saitya and Dr. Rakesh, for a wonderful panel.
Thank you for being there and being glued to your chairs.
Yes.
So tomorrow, like what ISRO, the moon man said, your direction should be to tackle these day-to-day grinds where you have to connect fetal medicine in high-risk pregnancy and take care of the baby and the mother.
First, let them felicitate. We request our moderators to felicitate our panelists. Dr. Anirudh Badade, sir, please, Raju Saitya and Rakesh Pandya, please felicitate our panelists. Dr. Chandanlul. Dr. Saraugi, sir.
Dr. Sudhir Naik, sir. Dr. Sudhir Naik, sir. Dr. Purnima Satoskar, madam.
Hello. After the lunch, we'll be having the AGM and the installation ceremony. So requesting everybody to have lunch and come back in the hall as soon as possible.